morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. My apologies, because this is actually a second take, because I had actually done my morning video, had actually uploaded it, and came back and found out the sound was messed up. They did updates on the Mevo software, and I uploaded it on all the devices and everything else, and it ended up going back to the standards for the sound on it, so that's why it ended up clipping out. So let's get open for business again, and let's wake up the football gods. Thank you, Q and guys, for letting me know you screwed up as usual, Mark. So last night was great. We did our regular live stream on Monday and Friday nights. We ended up doing another drawing for one of our beer glasses, which will be headed on out. I think Tony was the winner last night. Tony, it'll be packed up, shipped up, and out the way today for you, my man. As well as I'm still looking for Aaron Wojciechowski. Aaron Wojciechowski, email me, cowboysmark94@gmail, so that way we can get you yours. You won actually on Friday night's live stream. So I feel more hopeful for the season today than I did yesterday. The fact that our Dallas Cowboys now, this is 2 weeks, we'll see what happens today, have not had over the course of the 2 weeks any positive tests of the rookies or the veterans. The fact that they are actually back together at the start, and having Mike McCarthy get there and say that everything we're doing is about winning. To know that there's been like 40-some players plus that have opted out. We also know that there's somewhere in the 60s amount of players that are actually on the COVID list of the commissioners. But I heard this morning that Gardner Minshew, the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is coming off the list after just being on for 2 days. What you basically have to do is, if you test positive or if you're exposed, you have to be quarantined, and then you have to pass 2 tests. The fact that he's only been on for a couple of days and is now back, that gives me hope for a season. And it's, like I said, that's all we can have right now is hope. These are extraordinary times, and the NFL and the NFLPA, who 6 months ago was probably going, whew, we dodged that bullet, we got an agreement, we don't have to worry about this stuff for 10 more years. And then here comes COVID, and it says, wait a minute, you've got to come out with a new plan. So the NFL and the NFLPA are trying to hammer out a deal. And one of the things that they had said was players would have 7 days after them signing an agreement to opt out. Well, as Devin McCourtney put it out there, that this is BS, because come Thursday is now the deadline, and they have yet to sign a full agreement on what they're doing. So they're shortening this up mainly because the NFL owners are looking at this as, if players are given a lot of time, they go to training camp and they realize they're not getting the reps and they feel that they're not going to be part of the plan, they may opt out just to go ahead and take the money and run, knowing that they weren't going to make the team. So they want to try and take away that advantage that, the players that might be bubble players and not on rosters will have. We'll see how all that works out. But right now, as of Thursday, that will be the opt-out day, the last day to opt out. But last night during our live stream, shout out to everybody who came in. We always have a ball. We have, of course, some hardcore Dallas Cowboy fans. We got some hardcore Dallas Cowboy fans that are Dak haters. And, of course, we got the Eagles fans that are in here spouting about how they're the greatest team since any team ever, of course, after finally getting one Super Bowl. You guys can believe what you want to believe. You go right ahead. We understand how you guys are. We know how you are. But we had a great time last night, but I had a surprise caller last night. Dak Prescott's uncle came in, and what I'm doing right now is actually cutting down the interview so that way you can see it in its entirety without having to watch the whole live stream. But Dak's uncle, Peggy's brother, who helped raise Dak Prescott, cleared the air on a lot of things where it comes to Dak Prescott. We hear things about, how much money he makes doing ads and things. And, his uncle puts out there how he has no off season, where he literally is either practicing or doing ads and has no life other than that. And I know a lot of people say, oh, big deal, you're out there making all that money. Well, if you don't have time to enjoy it, or if you are missing out on your family and things like that, those are things that you can never get back. He also talked about Tad. So I'm going to give you a little taste, just a little taste of the interview. Like I said, I messed up the first video, so I had to start all over again. But let's see if I can get it straight this time, because I'm an idiot. On the system here. Hang on, dang. I wasn't expecting to get a phone call. Hold up. Hang on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Are you there? Philip?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, guys, I wasn't expecting to get any phone calls tonight. I have actually Philip Ebarb online. You know I'm on live, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Philip, what's up? What's up?
Oh, man. Same stuff.
Same stuff? Okay. For those of you who don't know, this is actually Dak's uncle. Any news you got for me? Anything? Any tad bit? Any good news?
Well, I just want to set. I want to set some records straight.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right.
When Tad, Dak's brother, makes a comment about how he feels,
Yeah.
it is 100%
Tad.
his word.
Okay.
He has the right to say and feel however he wants.
All right.
But that is not speaking for Dak. I don't speak for Dak. Tad doesn't speak for Dak. Nobody does. Dak is his own man.
I can believe that.
He makes his own mind up. He speaks his mind. He's honest. He's honorable. He's loyal. And he's honest to a fault.
I agree with you.
So, when Tad says he never liked the Cowboys, and he doesn't know how long he'll be bulletproof, that doesn't have anything to do with that. Well, I don't mean it doesn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't have anything to do with the way Dak feels.
Right. That's his personal opinion.
That's right. So, Dak growing up was wearing Cowboy jerseys. I'm going to play quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys when I grow up. He was a fan from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Tad never liked the Cowboys.
Oh, really?
Never, ever. So, I wasn't a big Cowboy fan. I've liked a few of the players. I knew Kabika Pittman, Damon LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a couple of players at certain times. And we had the guy from Mississippi State, the linebacker, left right before Dak. Can't think of his name right off his lips.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Hang on.
Black-haired guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been a player fan for the Cowboys, but never a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan now because I know a bunch of the players. Dak's there, and I'm in. But Tad can say and feel however he wants. And
can I ask you a question on this one now? And you may not. Okay, so that's a little taste, just a little taste of the interview. I actually have it uploading and everything else, the whole interview, but there was a lot of great stuff in there. Shout out to Philip for coming through here and giving us a little insight on Dak Prescott and where he is for the season and things, and what life is actually like for Dak Prescott. So, on to dealing with this pandemic and getting ready for the season. One of the things that's really interesting is, and right now for the Cowboys, we've gained some cap space. After cutting Kyle Forbath, we're actually almost at $11 million. Now, I'm still working out and investigating it, but it looks like the prorated bonuses are going to be suspended for this year and kicked in and prorated, of course, for next year. And this has created even more cap space for like teams like New England Patriots, who have had 8 players opt out. They now, I think, have either the first or second most cap space for next year. I think they're at $34.5 million or something like that because of the changes in the rules. And this almost makes you feel like Bill Belichick is the master of figuring this stuff out, so he can basically build another dynasty again while everybody else is going to literally be in cap hell. But now, with the problems of COVID, the NFL is not playing around this time. Normally it used to be like, for example, if you were failed a drug test, you get a couple of warnings before they would actually suspend you. Well, here is a little taste of the rules that the NFL has come out with. Let me see if this is it. Okay. There will be no warnings this year. The NFL is basically saying if you engage in risky behavior, you're subject to a minimum of 1 game check and or suspension immediately without a warning. Without a warning. Okay? So let me read exactly what we have on here. And I'm still getting used to finding the sweet spot here with this computer. The club may impose a minimum fine in the amount of 1 week's salary and or suspension without pay not to exceed 4 weeks for conduct detrimental to the club and engaging in high-risk COVID-19 conduct set forth below. No written warning will be issued to a player for the first offense in these categories. Okay, you get no warning. If you are caught with doing any of these things, that's it. You're hit. Number 1, attending an indoor nightclub unless player is wearing PPE and there are no more than 10 people in the club. Why to go to a club if you can only have 10 people in the club? Attending an indoor bar other than to pick up food unless a player is wearing PPE and there are no more than 10 people in the bar. Why go to the bar? 10 people. You got the bartender and at least a waitress and a cook. Because if you're trying to get some wings and a drink, that's 3 people right there. At least in the bar. For clarity, a bar does not include an establishment that offers food service in which a player attends primary for food service, even if the establishment also includes a full-service bar. So if it's a bar or restaurant, then okay, then I guess that's different. House gatherings of more than 15 people without the player and all guests wearing masks or PPEs where social distancing for more than 10 people is impossible. Attending an indoor music concert or entertainment event. Attending a professional sporting event other than applicable NFL games or events unless a player is seated in a separated seating section such as a suite or owner's box and is wearing PPEs and there are no more than 10 people in that separated seating section. Attending an event by state and or local regulation, executive order, or law impairment due to COVID-19. So basically, you're not getting together with anybody. If you got 10 or more people, you can be suspended and lose game checks. The NFL is not playing around. There's no warnings. So if TMZ is on the prowl for Zeke Elliott and everybody else, then I guess TMZ will be on the payroll for the NFL. So the NFL is not playing around right now. This is it. This is the bomb. We're not going to do this. So that's where we are with the whole situation as this season goes. We have to understand, or players, you have to understand that the bottom line is if you engage in anything, you are risking the whole season for everybody else. And we have to realize that it's all in for everybody or it's all in for nobody. So hopefully I got my sound right on this one and we get this thing taken care of, and it's time for me to get my behind ready to go to work. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.